Before we begin, I just want to mention that if you're watching this on a phone, I have cranked the treble on my bass amp as high as I can in hopes for you to be able to, it's booming in here, but you would not be able to tell because tiny speakers in your phone are just not built to convey huge bass signals. So if you're having trouble hearing the bass, put some headphones on or, plug into your Bluetooth speaker or whatever, and you'll be able to hear it better. Okay, here we go. Yeah, welcome back to 4 Days of Say It Ain't. So 2020, today we are doing the bass line. I love this bass line. Whenever I had a student who showed some propensity for loving Weezer, we always did this bass line because it's fun, it's not too hard, it's super satisfying. So let's do it. Of course, your dumb bass has to be dumb to tune. So instead of E, A, D, G, notice it's the same as the first 4 strings on the guitar. So if you know how to play guitar, you already kind of know how to play bass. Fastest way to join any band, just go buy a bass. Every band always needs a bassist. Anyways, you're going to have E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. Here's a tip if you're using one of those clip-on tuners or many tuners can't register that super low D sharp or E flat note, so you want to tune it on the 12th fret, then you'll be able to get that note on your tuner. A4, E4. Then we're going to do a chromatic riff. I love chromatic riffs. One of the reasons why I love this bass line. A chromatic riff is just a riff or a fill or whatever that doesn't skip any frets on its way from to to fro, which is going to be the D string 4th fret, and then the 5th fret, and then the 6th fret. So far we have A4, E4, D, 4, 5, 6, followed by E5, E open. And the fill here is open again, 4, and then 2 on the A string. And then you repeat. If you're fancy, do a little ghost note, grace note, hammer there. Another way to be fancy is instead of low E there, play a high one on the A string 7th fret. But of course, when Rivers says something is a bubble and behind my back, the bass does something slightly different in lieu of the end portion of the riff we're talking about, and I'm going to show you what I think it is, and then I'm going to show you 2 other possibilities that you could throw in there if you want to mix it up. I think it is a quick grace note hammer-on from open to 2 on that D string, followed by play the note again, so in context. And that accounts for how nimble that little note that you almost can't barely hear is. Then straight back into it. So I think I like that. Or you could play your low E string and then play a higher octave E. I'm going to play it on the A string 7th fret. And then that's fun because you can do a lazy slide, which I don't hear on the recording, but it's a fun thing to do. Back into the riff. One more time for context. Or, I definitely don't think it's this, but this is a fun thing to do. You can do G sharp on the 4th fret of the E string, and then play your high E note on D2. Just nice to mix it up. But now we have spent far too much time on those 2 notes. Oops, just a little more time on those 2 notes. A real possibility is that instead of hammer on from open, it's hammer on from 1 to 2, which makes a lot of sense because this D sharp note, you barely hear that first note. You can hear that something happens but can't quite hear what it is. But D sharp on the 1st fret of the D string would be the 7th note of our E major scale, which is the scale in question for this song. So tiny detail. I didn't know we were going to get so detailed here. Right before the chorus, we hear yet a different thing, and this one is B followed by E. So you could do that either on the A string 2nd fret, and then the D string 2nd fret, or the E string 7th fret, and then the A string 7th fret. So the very, very end of the verse before we get to the first chorus. Alright, chorus. chorus, easiest thing ever. A string, 4th fret, that's a C sharp, just like the chord the guitars are playing, C sharp. Then E string, 4th fret, G sharp, 5th fret A, and low E. You can give that E some rhythm. You give that E some octave to be fancy. Give some 5th. That didn't sound very good, don't do that. Something I've never ever noticed until just now. The second chorus, the first trip through the notes is the same. But the second and third times, the first bom bom is actually a bum bum bum. So the guitars may or may not do that, but the bass probably does it along with the drums, since bass is, you know, half percussion and a half tonal instrument. So first time, second time, third time's the same as the second time. Fourth time is just 8th notes all the way through until the ring out. Alright, the bridge is where the very most fun thing happens on the bass line on Say It Ain't So, and it only happens once, so you better enjoy it. We're going to be on the E string, 7th fret, that's a B, 6th fret, open, 3. Now the second time, here comes that theme, that rhythmic theme again that I never ever noticed before. It's going to be the same frets, but the first note is going to be. The third time is when the magic happens. You're going to do your bum bum bum, and then switch to D9, 8, A9, 7, 6, and then we'll join back in with so. And then we'll join back in with open. 3, and then there's no bump, bump, bump. The fourth time it's just regular. And chug away on G. Into the solo, which is like the chorus, just smoother. You can even throw your fill, which isn't on the recording if you want to. I like to, because, you know, you get kind of bored just playing 4 notes. But here's that part. Bought your bass so you can join the neighborhood band and you're just feeling a little disappointed that you're not in the forefront all the time. The very last note of the song is of course just a big low E, but we're on a bass. It's the same 4 strings as the fattest 4 strings on the guitar, only much, much lower, so we could play an E power chord on the A string, 7th fret, D string, 9th fret, G string, 9th fret, plus the open low E string, so you can that's it for Say It Ain't So on the bass. I love that bass line. I hope you love it too. I hope that was fun and helpful. Thank you all so much for being here, and I will see you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.